Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk with you about what to do when you have zombie dreams, or what this means about you. Or if you like zombie movies or feel some affinity there that speaks to you in some way. Maybe it's Walking Dead or The Last of Us or any other zombie apocalypse. I guess this is more a 2017 topic, but whatever, here we are, right? But that's what movies and shows are. They're collective dreams. They're dreams we have together. So what does this mean about you? Well, what does the zombie mean? I would include vampire in this. It's somebody who is undead. You're not alive. You're not dead. You are undead. I mean, it's right there in the name. Which gives credence to a double negative as a concept. You're alive. You're in motion, but there's no soul. And you're only scary because there's a group of you. You only are scary. You only matter because you're part of a group. I think it's a very common feeling we have when humans interact with somebody. Like, we don't see anything there. Like, where's the life in you? I think of Denise Richards in The World Is Not Enough because she plays a nuclear scientist. And you can tell in the movie when she says things like nuclear reactor, she doesn't know what that means. She may not even know what science means. Like, I can tell in her eyes. She doesn't know, what she's talking about. And that's exactly what it means to be a zombie, right? It means you don't have your own thoughts. You don't have your own feelings, behaviors, actions. So you must necessarily, right? Nature abhors a vacuum. You must necessarily take on the thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions, whatever beliefs of the people around you. You must necessarily blend in. And this is exactly the trauma response. The general trauma response is, in lieu of your own feelings, you must take on the feelings of others. Imperceptibly, on some unconscious level, this is what children learn when they grow up in chaos. They can't have their own feelings. They can't have problems because they intuit on some level. They don't really think it explicitly. Sometimes they do at a later age, maybe 8, 9, 10. But they think, you know what? I have this feeling, I have this emotion, but even if I talked with my mom about it, she wouldn't know what to do. It's not that she wouldn't want to help. It's not about that. She doesn't have the bandwidth. But when you think of a zombie movie or a zombie dream, I mean, does a zombie really want to hurt you? I guess it does, but in order for it to want to hurt you, it needs to want something. It has to have its own wants. Your mom, your dad, the chaos, you can tell by the chaos in your home that, there's no bandwidth for you. So you learn to, again, nature abhors a vacuum. So you just learn to take on thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions of those around you. Which is interesting, when you watch zombie movies, that's something revealing about it is, yes, of course, the zombies are zombies, but you know who else is the zombie in the zombie movie is the people trying to fight the zombies. Because for the entire movie, they just, try to shoot them with guns or burn them with fire. Like, some redneck guy comes with an even bigger gun, and you think, oh, this isn't going to work. And then it does work for a little bit, but then for some reason it has the negative, it doesn't work, or it has the opposite response of, now it somehow created more zombies. It's not until there's some creative solution. I think of the zombie movie World War Z, which came out maybe 10 years ago or so. It developed a vaccine. You needed a creative solution, and that takes care of the zombies. You needed an original thought. You needed your own original thought, feeling, emotion, action, behavior. And that's what takes care of the zombies. And you don't have to fight them anymore. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that there's zombies out there, right? Because you have your own solution. So what's the solution to zombies in your real life, to metaphorical zombies in your real life? It's to overcome this traumatic response. And we typically do this in 5 steps. It's not always these exact 5 steps, but it's generally this. The first one is if you're in a situation where you just feel yourself succumbing to the feelings of those around you and repressing whatever feeling you have, you simply have to notice, let's just call it a feeling, afterward. Okay, you shut down. It's okay. Let's just notice it afterward. Bring attention to it afterward. Within a few days, at least. Maybe up to a week, but let's try to do it within a few days to start. And a good way to get at what you were feeling is just ask yourself, well, what did I want to say or do? This usually gives insight into what you were feeling at the time. And then the next thing to do is to notice as it happens. See, what a lot of people want to do when they want to overcome their trauma response is to just start being more honest or start communicating in the moment. But until you can really tap into your feeling and get good at feeling it and having that feeling, holding on to it regardless of what people feel around you, you're never going to be able to communicate properly. Even as you notice it as it happens and you start to do this very well, then you can begin to communicate, but you're going to communicate poorly. It's never going to go well at first, and people hate that. People hate having to communicate poorly, so a lot of people will get stuck here. It will come out wrong, and they'll chastise themselves, and they will not continue to grow, because what happens as you once you get good at communicating poorly is then you apologize. Nobody likes doing this, but this is vital. So if you don't get stuck at 3, you're going to get stuck at 4. Because what you're doing here is you're apologizing to zombies. And you think, why should I apologize to zombies? They're the ones who need to apologize to me. Yeah, maybe. I mean, if we can put numbers on this, let's say the zombies are 99% at fault, but you're 1% at fault. And if you can't take responsibility in meeting for how you communicated poorly, then you're not going to go on to the final stage here, which is, of course, communicate well. Or as well as you can, which means to have your own feeling and express it into zombies in the most amenable way possible. It doesn't have to be perfect, and there's really no endpoint to communicating well, of course, but express it as well as you possibly can. And that's the process. And this, this is what we work on in therapy. It's generally this. People will say 1 year of therapy equals 1 second of response time. Meaning that if you're interacting with zombies in a situation where you previously would have been overwhelmed, that you just unconsciously succumb emotionally, behaviorally to zombies, now you have a second. Now you have a second to think about it. Or 7 years, so we'll give you 7 seconds. I mean, it's not literally 7 seconds, but it feels, subjectively, it feels like 7 seconds, like you have 7 seconds. I don't really think it takes 7 years. If you really, it's not about working hard, but when you just focus on this process, maybe it's like 7 months to get 7 seconds, but whatever. That's just generally what we're going for here. Carl Jung has that great quotation: "An ordinary man not protected by an action from above and who's isolated from society cannot resist the power of evil." I would modify that for this video a little bit, and I would say a man who cannot have his own feeling and who is isolated from society must necessarily submit to the allure of the mob. It doesn't matter whether you want to be the part of the mob or not. If you don't have access to your feelings and the ability to communicate that, you have no choice. You're going to be part of the mob. Just like no matter how much your mom wanted to help you, she doesn't have a choice. She just does not have the bandwidth to help you, just like you don't have the bandwidth to not be part of the mob. So that's what we can help you with. I have a way of doing therapy. And if you want to learn more about that, joinanimus.com/schedule, or if you just want to talk to me about what's going on with you, that alone can be helpful. Do free consultations. Thank you guys, and remember that if people in your life seem like they're the zombies, then you may in fact be the one who's the zombie.